and then let's enter your first child. And we'll start by creating a database. So if we go to making a new table. So picture a table as a classroom. It's actually the table or a spreadsheet of kids in one classroom. And so we'll click New Table. And so now I'm going to choose, let's choose Tukwila. And that is one site. And we'll click Open. So it's actually asking for which database do you want to put in. So I had one site that was Valley View, but right now now I'm at Tukwila. So if you're a person at Tukwila, you make your database for Tukwila. You don't see Tukwila, but now we're going to create it. So type in Tukwila and click Open, and it says it can't find Tukwila because it wasn't in the list. And would you like to create it? You click Yes, I like to create it. Now I like to click, you want to make your table of all the kids in the classroom. Select New Table. And so at Tukwila there's only an AM and a PM class. But if you had multiple teachers there, you might want to say Tukwila teacher, and you may have Sarah AM class. So you'll click OK. So you see Tukwila Sarah AM class. Now Sarah has a PM class, so you want to go ahead and click New Table. It's going to ask you which database. Well, she is at, I want to look at Tukwila, so Tukwila is already here. And if it was not here, you'd click on Tukwila and it would go ahead and list that, and you open that database. So picture the database is like the cover of a book, and a table is like the individual chapter. So now here we are doing our table like our individual chapter, and then we're going to click New Table, and now I'm going to say Tukwila Sarah PM. All right, and you can also put 2008 just so you know which database if you have multiple years on your computer. So here you have Tukwila Sarah PM 2008. All right, let's put one child in, and this is your ID number. Your ID number starts off at 1. If you were to put one child in and click 2, it would go to 2, 3, and so forth. I encourage you to try to keep information confidential. You could use maybe whatever the ECEAP number, that child's ECEAP number is, and then you would not even need your last or first name. Maybe you might put Mary, and then you have the ID number, and you have her birth date. So that would not constitute a record for that child, and that would still be confidential. If you put the last name and first name in the database, then that is a confidential record, and you have to maintain the confidentiality of that record. So what you want to do is go ahead into the first or the last name. You could put maybe even partial names, and so you know who that child might be, and keep some confidentiality of that information. Height, weight information is not as confidential unless there's some issues concerning that child's height and weight. All right, so let's just give an example. We'll have the last name D, the first name M, how you wish to do it, and then tab to move forward. Now, you could use your mouse and you can click however you wish to do it. I'm going to say this is Mary, so it's a female. You could use your arrow keys on your computer to toggle back between each male, female. Hit tab, and so Mary's born, so you have to put your entry into 05, put the 0 in, 05, 2004, and then hit enter. We took the date or the measurement date on 10/10/2008, sorry, and click enter. Now this is called the glitch. The glitch is on the first child of every table, again this is a table, the age did not calculate. And usually the age only calculates in months. It doesn't calculate in years. We've asked the CDC to look into changing that. But it is the glitch. So in order to get this to calculate on the first child, you have to go back up and put your cursor up by the end of the year and hit enter. And see, now it's calculated out and it's yellowed out. It's only with the first child. Once you've gone through the first child of each table, then all the rest of the children will calculate correctly. So now just take your mouse, click into the height, and type in a height. We'll say 40 inches, and then she is, we'll say, 42 pounds. And then you could tab in, and you'll see as you tabbed in to ounces. We don't want ounces. What we like for you to do is to put it in a decimal and convert it into decimal format. So 0.25, and then hit enter. Just so, because sometimes the ounces are not listed on our tracking record, and we did not include that value on our tracking record. So you want to put 4.25, 4.5, or 0.75, put that in decimal version. You'll see now after I clicked enter, the percentile has already calculated for height for age, weight for age, and there's your BMI, and there's your BMI for age calculated there on the right-hand side. So the note section is if a child, maybe the child struggled, you can have that note. That would tell you that potentially when you do your second value, it tell you something happened with that value. Maybe you got this off the exam, the well-child exam, and so the doctor may have measured it differently than what you measured in the class. So, or maybe the child has a hairpiece, and the hair got in the way, hair maybe 1 inch off, and you couldn't do anything about the hair that was there, and so that measurement may tell you that that measurement might be off. All right, so there's no, I'm not going to put a note in there for now. And then now if you want to put in another measurement for Mary, you click, here is data measurement, you click new, and so let's go ahead and click. So for spring measurements, you might put in March, but let's just go for, maybe there was measurement in November 11/15, 2008, and we'll click enter. And the measurement before, we had her, it's asking for information, I didn't put the information in, 10/10, I had 40 and 42.5, so now I'm going to go back and put my measurement in 11/15, 2004, 2008, okay, and then I'm going to click enter, and then now she may have gone to 43, and maybe she's at 45 pounds, and I'll click enter. So you'll see the information calculated there. And if you want to toggle between both the measurements, you can click between the two. Now say for instance, I might have made an error and she's actually not 43 inches. So she's actually 40, let's say 40.25. Again, you want to use decimals listed there, 40.25. And now I'm going to click back. It's going to ask, do you want to replace the record with the current settings? And you want to say 11/15, 2008. She was 40.25 and she was 45 pounds. And now you want to say yes. And so that will allow for that change to happen there. So now what you'll see when you print, you go to print preview, and we'll expand that out. You will see, and we'll use our magnifying glass. You'll see both of the measurements are plotted on the graph, as well as you'll see both measurements listed in the child growth information there. Okay.